We all think our situation is unique. We think our minds are crazy and chaotic, and we can't sit, let alone stop, and that there's nothing we can do about it. Or we've tried some things and nothing worked. Either way, we think it's just how we are. The reality is through this is a universal condition we all suffer from. The monkey mind, a term coined by the Buddha over 2,500 years ago, is a basic condition we experience simply from being human. We aren't as different as we think. The conditions which create stress are the same for all of us and have affected humans for thousands of years. And the cure has existed for just as long. Buddhist wisdom tells us that just as there's a central quality to all of our suffering, there's a central cure for it as well. Stress and anxiety are no exceptions. When looking at stress and anxiety, certain recurring themes rise to the surface. If you can work on these principles in tandem with your daily mindfulness and sitting meditation practice, you can not only relieve stress and better manage your anxiety, you can even break the patterns of behavior that cause stress and anxiety in the first place and overcome them completely. The steps I'm about to give you are what worked for me personally. So know that I talk from direct experience within my own practice. We begin with the first aspect of meditation, Samatha. Samatha is a Sanskrit word which can be translated as stopping, and it's the act of stopping, calming, resting, and healing to cultivate a tranquil mind. Within this piece of Buddhist wisdom exist essentially all the components needed to not only relieve but altogether overcome our stresses and our anxieties. By letting the light of mindfulness guide you, you can use this ancient wisdom to transform your everyday state of mind and realize a great amount of relief from both stress and the anxiety that accompanies it. First, bring the pebble mind to rest. The first step, and really the foundation of all meditative practice, is to calm the mind. So it goes without saying that establishing a strong mindfulness meditation practice is the key here. By taking time to learn mindfulness meditation, develop a daily practice and sticking with it, and then working to make mindfulness a way of life, you can cultivate an extraordinary, ever-present state of tranquility within you. The basic state of a stressed or anxious mind is of chaos, disorder, or a lack of unity. So, by focusing on a central point, especially something which has a significant effect on our state of mind and stress and anxiety levels already, the breath is what we use here, we experience great relief and generate a still calmness, like a petal resting at the bottom of a lake. And with that calmness comes clarity and the ability to identify the very patterns of our behavior which are generating our stress and our anxiety. Next up, we need to identify harmful patterns. Once you've begun to calm the mind, you'll start to be able to identify harmful stress and anxiety creating patterns of your behavior. You can do this with your everyday mindful practice. Before calming the mind, you're traveling through life with dulled senses. Lots of things are happening behind the scenes of your mind. But You can't detect these because you're not tuned in correctly. Just as you can't see down to the bottom of a body of water with ripples running across the top of it. Without calm, you can't have clarity, and this affects your ability to navigate life's challenges skillfully. By cultivating a tranquil mind, you not only calm the mind, but you remove obstructions which kept you from seeing with that clarity. This is critical, without which this step would not be possible. Examples of harmful stress and anxiety-inducing patterns of behavior are the following. I can't stop. I have so much to do. Or, I can't handle this. I'm not capable. Or, as soon as I get this done, I'll take a break. The hint here is that break never happens. We also say, I'm fine, I'll stop later. Or what if this happens? What am I going to do then? Or they're supposed to listen to me. Or why didn't this happen the way I wanted? Another great example of this is in the West idea of a vacation. Many in the West make big plans for vacations with a set of events and to-do list. But what ends up happening is you get back from vacation more tired than when you began. And with that, the point of the vacation is completely lost. We've forgotten how to truly rest our body and mind and suffer greater stress as a result. By identifying these harmful patterns of behaving, we're halfway to cutting off the source of our stress altogether and experiencing the greatest relief we could find. So what are you actually supposed to do? Your only job here is to acknowledge these thoughts, feelings, and behaviors with your mindfulness as you notice them. Do not read into them. Do not pry. Just acknowledge what arises non-judgmentally. This sounds simple, but it's often difficult, and yes, it takes time. Patience is very important from this point on, but you've gained considerable relief along with the other benefits of your meditation practice. So, provided you can continue practicing consistently, you should have more than enough motivation to continue for most of the time, at least. Number 3, we need to be present and give yourself time to heal. Once these patterns have begun to arise and become gradually clearer to you, your need to give yourself time to heal will increase and you'll benefit from it. Continue to be present for these patterns, these thoughts, feelings, and actions. You must have patience. Patience can't be overstated here. Developing a mindfulness practice as a way of life takes a lot of work, but it's so worth it. You need to have patience and allow things to develop and come as they will. It's also very important to be compassionate with yourself as you tend to face somewhat uncomfortable things about yourself at this point in your meditation practice. Prioritizing your mindfulness practice truly is the most important effort here, not just for clarity and calm's sake, but also to stay non-judgmental. This will help you generate and maintain self-compassion. Making the effort to simply be present, patient, and compassionate with yourself as these things arise will greatly help you reduce their hold over you with time. Your mindful presence is a very healing energy. Truly, nothing else is needed as you gain in this practice. My final word. The truth is, daily stressors and the situations which cause you anxiety may never go away. Nearly every day, I am confronted with challenges that test my own patience. But just because those potential stressors exist doesn't mean you have to be controlled by them. And that's an important point to remember. You can change your relationship with those stressors by changing how you relate to them. You can not only manage them better, but with time, you can cut off the source of the stress and anxiety altogether. Work to bring calm to the mind. Identify harmful patterns of behavior and be present, patient, and compassionate for the healing process that you have put into action. Relief is possible if you let the light of mindfulness and the wisdom of Samatha guide you. I'd like to thank you for being here today and sharing your time with me. If you have specific topics or situations you would like to learn more on, please drop me a line in the comments below. If you would like to support my efforts here and my outreach, you can do so via Patreon or several other methods via links I will put in the description below. As always, my friends, a gracious thanks. Peace and love, Jim.